At dawn, the hunters slip through the mist. Jaguar Paw crouches low, spear ready. His sharp eyes cut through the jungle. Sweat glints on painted skin. The chase erupts. Spears fly as the boar crashes through the brush. A clean strike. The beast falls. Laughter echoes beneath golden light. If you want to see Jaguar Paw survive the jungle, hit that like button and subscribe. By the fire, Jaguar Paw finds peace. His wife smiles. His son rests against him. Morning breaks, then chaos. Raiders storm the village, blades dripping, huts burning. Jaguar Paw fights back, spear flashing, but the village crumbles around him. Desperate, he drives his family to the hidden pit. Their eyes plead with fear.
Help us!
Dragged in chains, Jaguar Paw turns back. His wife clutches their child in the shadows. The captives stumble through the jungle. Jaguar Paw's chest heaves with rage. Hands bound, paint smeared, his warrior's pride burns behind bloodshot eyes. Up the ridge, the raiders drive them harder. The sun beats merciless. Dust clings to sweat. The forest grows thick. At the clearing, towering pyramids rise. The city howls like a beast awakened. Towering pyramids rise. The city howls like a beast awakened. Crowds roar. Drums pound. The captives are lined before the altar. One by one, hearts are offered to the sky. Blood slicks the stone. Jaguar Paw waits his turn. Fury coils tighter than fear. A sudden omen. The sun falters. The people cry out.
What is happening? Rise now! Behold the dawn!
In the chaos, he runs. Shackles drag, but his spirit tears free.
Guards, seize them!
Jaguar Paw crashes into the trees. Branches tearing skin. Freedom within reach. The raiders give chase. Painted faces flashing through the green blur. Feet pound earth. Breath shatters silence. Jungle turns to a battlefield. He leaps fallen logs. Mud swallowing his steps. Blood streaking his chest. Behind him, war cries rise. Spears hiss through air, missing by inches. Jaguar Paw veers into shadow, heart hammering like the drums of sacrifice. He grips a jagged rock, waits in silence, eyes burning through darkness. A raider stumbles past. His throat opens with one strike. Jaguar Paw vanishes again, swallowed by jungle. Hunted, yet unbroken. Night falls. Fireflies flicker. He moves unseen, a ghost in the leaves. His body shivers with exhaustion, yet his spirit refuses to bend. A river glimmers in moonlight. Salvation or a trap laid by fate? He dives headlong, cold water crushing lungs, silence swallowing sound. Above, torches flicker. Raiders scour the banks, shouting his name. He crawls ashore, coughing, mud painting his skin like war paint. Through dripping leaves, a faint cry cuts the silence. His family. Weak, bleeding, but relentless, he stumbles toward the hidden cave. Inside, his wife waits, swollen with child, son clutched to her chest. They embrace, trembling, tears and earth mixing on their faces. The cave shakes. Distant drums roll. The enemy still hunts them. He grips his son, eyes locked with his wife. Survival is not over. At the roots of giants, he plants his final trap. The first pursuer falls, impaled, screaming. Silence spreads like fire. Stone meets skull, a brutal crack, and silence after. Chaos claims another life. Branches splinter, blood stains the earth. Through the storm, Jaguar Paw returns, not as prey, but as protector. Beside him, his wife and son rise from the shadows, walking toward a world none of them can yet understand. They leave the hunters behind. The sea, the ships, the unknown future, it waits. But together, they step forward, survivors of the old world, bearers of the new. If their fight for survival moved you, join us here on Echoes of Survival. Subscribe and step with us into the next story, where every struggle becomes legend. In the frozen silence of the wild, danger hides behind every tree. Hugh Glass knew the forest was never empty. Something was watching. Subscribe, hit like, and share. Don't miss the next part of this frozen adventure. And then, the shadow appeared. A grizzly, giant, furious, unstoppable. The beast ripped into him with merciless rage. Every bone felt like it was breaking. His lungs burned, his body torn apart. With nothing but a knife, he fought for his life. At last, the beast fell, but Glass was barely alive. No man should have survived, yet he did. His son Hawk found him, clinging to life. But not everyone wanted Glass to survive.
We will take care of him.
To Fitzgerald, Glass was dead weight. And behind his eyes, betrayal was brewing. But Hawk would not leave his father undefended.
What have you done?
I don't know what you were talking about.
Until Fitzgerald struck without warning. A son's final breath stole in the cold night. Glass watched his boy die before his eyes, and then they buried him alive. But Glass's fire refused to die. Left for dead, but he dragged himself back from the grave. Every inch forward was agony. But his will to live was stronger than his pain. The world tilted, fading in and out of blackness. He chewed on dirt and roots to keep breathing. The freezing river clawed at his body. Even the wolves feasted while he starved. He ate worms and rot, anything to stay alive. Every breath was a gamble with death. But inside, his fire burned hotter than the cold. With shaking hands, he stole fire from stone.
Finally.
For the first time, warmth touched his skin. He burned his own flesh to survive. Stitching himself with nothing but grit. The forest itself became his shelter, but danger still circled in the dark. Every step was torture. But every step was vengeance. Survival meant devouring whatever nature offered. The river tried to claim him, but he refused. Because vengeance was keeping him alive. Through frozen silence, he followed Fitzgerald's trail. Every breath carried the weight of his son's memory.
I must survive.
The tracks grew clearer. The hunt was closing in. And then he saw it. Fitzgerald was close. The weapon felt heavier than his resolve. The man he sought sat, unaware, breathing. Determination burned brighter than the fire. He moved closer, step by step. But fate would not grant him an easy victory.
What are you doing?
In a twist, the hunter became the hunted. Steel and bone collided in the frozen dark. Fitzgerald fought like a cornered wolf. But glass carried the fury of a grieving father. The blade cut deep, pain surging. Every strike was survival. Every wound, vengeance. The river that tried to drown glass now swallowed Fitzgerald. The killer finally tasted fear. At last, vengeance was his. But vengeance left only emptiness. And in the frozen silence, his story was carved into legend. When the sky itself betrays you, survival begins in the wreckage. The cold doesn't wait, it kills. Not everything out here is metal and ice. Some things bite back. If you're still breathing, subscribe, because what comes next is darker than night. Fire is man's last weapon, and even that flickers.
We need to move.
They're watching, they're waiting, they're choosing who dies first. This wilderness doesn't feed, it conquers. Every step is a mouth waiting to close. You pray for morning, but the night owns you. Surrounded, outnumbered, hope shrinks smaller than the flame. Fear doesn't
Not like
freeze
this.
you, it shoves you into the dark. Death wears the color of snow. Survival means bleeding forward. Steel walls won't save you. Teeth go through steel. The Alpha doesn't rush. It doesn't need to. One look, and every man knows who decides life or death. Sometimes survival demands one man against the impossible. When the storm itself growls, the end has teeth. It's not a hunt anymore, it's a war. But light burns fast, and darkness always waits. Morning doesn't bring safety, only proof of how doomed you are. The wolves don't chase, they stalk, and fear walks beside you. You can't outrun shadows, they run with you.
We need
Trip
to keep
once,
moving.
and the wilderness buries you. That sound? Not warning.
Can't feel my
Countdown.
legs. Did you hear
Every
that?
step forward
What was
is
that
gambling
sound?
with
It's coming
death.
from the tree.
In the white, death hides in plain sight. Even the ground waits to kill you. Every escape just fattens the chase. The night doesn't sleep. Neither do they. Memories don't warm
She
you.
was gone.
They cut colder than ice. Hell out here doesn't burn, it bites. One wolf down, but the Alpha is watching. Kill one, you've declared war. There is no victory, only delay. Every circle tightens, every breath counts down. The trees don't shelter you, they trap you. The ghost doesn't die, it returns. The pack isn't hunting anymore, they're marching to war. And war doesn't care if you're ready. The ground isn't earth, it's a grave waiting to close. Cliffs don't block you, they corner you. Every cut is just a promise to bleed again. Sometimes survival means choosing how you die. The hunt ends here, in blood and teeth. When no one's left, survival isn't shared, it's stolen. This isn't nature anymore, it's myth. If death comes, let it bleed with me. Two predators, one graveyard. This isn't survival, this is war. Pain is the only language both sides speak. Blind the beast, or be eaten alive. Survival isn't beauty, it's will. One cut, one breath, one chance. Kill the night, or it kills you. When the Alpha falls, the night finally breathes. Even monsters bow when the throne is empty. Survival doesn't give peace, only scars. The wilderness doesn't forgive, but it lets you walk. Survival isn't luck, it's defiance. He survives, the Alpha doesn't. Subscribe, because storms never end. They said the forest only takes the weak, but this time it took everyone. He woke to silence
The hunt had
and the
gone
smell
wrong.
of his tribe burning.
The blizzard had
Every step crunched on what was once a heartbeat. Some stories never die. Leave your mark. Subscribe, like, share. No screams left, No survivors to bury. Then he saw it. Claw marks, each one wider than his hand. Something had passed through the forest. Something too strong to run from. And then he found the track. And 2 teeth marks like knives. They were hunters until they weren't. They found tracks deeper than any beast they'd hunted and followed. They thought they were chasing prey, but the jungle was leading them. They didn't realize it was bait. And then the shadow moved. One scream, and the forest swallowed the rest. Fire keeps beasts away until it doesn't. He built a wall of light against the dark, but the dark only waited. He heard it breathing between the trees, too steady to be wind. It circled all night, waiting for fire to forget. Fear taught him one rule: never look away from the light. Then the branch snapped, and something stood behind him. He didn't see it. He felt it. A roar that bent the trees. The ground shook like the world itself was warning him. He thrust the spear and hit nothing. Then he saw it. Not his blood on the spear. The beast bled, and that was worse. Now it was angry. He thought the cave was shelter, but the air inside was breathing. They'd drawn their fear here and left it waiting. They'd fought it before and lost. Something was still here, and it knew the sound of fear. The cave spoke, not in words, but in warning. Then came the growl, not from ahead, but from behind. He had one fire left, and one chance to make it mean something. He carved his courage from venom, patience his only weapon now. Every strike of the bone was a heartbeat counting down to the hunt. He wasn't hunting the saber. He was hunting fear. The storm masked everything, even the sound of something moving closer. And fear took the bait. 2 survivors, 1 heartbeat. When claws meet bone, time disappears. The earth itself joined the fight. Every drop, every roar, pain met fire, and neither gave ground. The storm raged to hide their screams. Ye thought the storm had ended, but storms lie. Predators don't hunt alone.
The forest lied.
The forest had lied again. All he had left was a broken edge and a choice. The ground ended, but his story didn't. He dove into darkness, and the jungle roared after him. Legends aren't born, they survive. He crawled out of the night, carrying everything it took from him.
The hunt is over.
He killed one monster and became another. No one saw him again. But the forest remembered, because some echoes never stop. And when the night took him, the story didn't end. Carry the flame. Subscribe, like, share, and speak below. The hunt begins again.